Hey guys, Dave from Wolfhard Hobbying here, and welcome back to another Talk Tuesday. In this video, don't really have like a big broad topic that I'm going to be hitting on. Just another bunch of terrain ideas that have been popping in my head. But first off, you may notice I don't have my painting desk behind me anymore. We're moving some stuff around the house, so painting desk is getting moved, as well as my computer, but the computer hasn't moved yet. It's still set up in the same office room. Anyways, besides that, I'm not this week or next week, my computer should be set up in the same room with my painting table. Anyways, the idea that I had for this week is how to make bone terrain. Now you could do this many different ways. You could sculpt it out of styrofoam insulation. You could buy Halloween decorations and things like that. You can even get, I've seen a couple done with aquarium type terrain where, it's a big skull or, even just a little skull, and make some terrain out of that. But with Easter just passing not too long ago, my wife always makes a turkey soup out of our Easter turkey, and I saw a lot of bones and stuff. Usually we throw them out after we've boiled them to make the soup, but I wanted to save them this time and figure out a way of making terrain out of real bone. You'll get a lot more textures out of real bone, as well as a little bit more realism, I would find, than, say, a plastic or anything like that. So it got me to thinking, how could we do it? So I just want to show you an example. Like, I've got this here. Let's see if I can get it. This is the backbone or the back piece of the turkey. I'm not too sure what it's called. Anyways, and I saw that and I was like, that would be awesome to paint up. Just slap it on a piece of MDF or a CD or whatever you use to make the bases for your terrain, and then just glue this down and paint it up, or if you wanted to, you could leave it like that. Now, when you are done cooking a turkey bone or a turkey, the bone is not white like that is. So there's a couple steps of prepping, and the first step would be obviously to boil the bones. That will get a lot of the meat and cartilage off of the bones. If you're a hunter, you probably know all this stuff anyways, but for me, I'm not a hunter and wargaming, so I had to kind of research it, so I'm just passing it along to you guys. So you'll want to boil that so it gets all the meat and a lot of the cartilage off. Then what I did is I let it dry and harden up again, because the bone will be really soft when you boil it. And then I just kind of scrape off with just a butter knife or a screwdriver, something dull, and kind of scraped off the rest of the cartilage, any of the dry cartilage or meat that still happens to be on it. Now, to get it that white, I kind of screwed up in that process is you'll want to bleach the bones. I suggest diluting your bleach, maybe a 2-to-1 ratio of bleach. I use straight concentrated bleach. That makes the bones extremely brittle. I'll show you. Well, I'll show you here. I've got kind of I don't know. This was part of the backbone as well, but it's very brittle, and like it breaks off real easy. I don't know if you saw that, but it's very, very brittle. So I bleached it, and I bleached it for too long. Now what the bleach will do is it'll give you that white color, which would be a great thing to start as kind of your base coat. Again, I bleached it too long, so if you dilute it, keep an eye on it too, because you don't want your bones to become too brittle, because then you can't work with them. Depending on the bone, like I've got a big leg bone here that if you can see, it's fairly white, and a lot of the color except for down here has been bleached out. Now with this being a fairly thick bone, there's no problem. Like you can't see it, but I'm pressing like really hard in the middle here, and it's not breaking. So like thick bones like this, you could probably bleach for a while and not have to worry about it. But things like the backbone here, like all along inside this side here, it's all eaten away and it fell apart. Now it's made some cool designs inside the bone. It's broken off some of the top layer of the bone, leaving some of that porous look, which is awesome. Also got me thinking, if you use a sea sponge and cut it the right way, you could probably make good bone terrain out of a sea sponge. You know, use your imagination, some decoration stuff. But other than that, so you bleach the bone. Now, again, even if you dilute it, it's probably going to weaken the bone, especially if it's a thin piece. So then what I did is I would let it soak in a mixture of water and probably wood glue. I wouldn't use PVA, just because of wood glue, when it hardens, it's really hard. So you could brush that on and let dry and do a couple layers of brushing if you wanted to. I let mine soak in PVA glue, and that's why I'm saying don't use it. It didn't help at all. But I would let it soak overnight just so that a lot of those pores can soak up that glue, and then let it dry. And it should harden it a bit. If not, well then you may be SOL. But like I'm kind of out of luck with that one, with some of the pieces at least. And then it's just, lay it on your MDF or whatever you use for basing terrain pieces, and then, add your little details and whatnot and paint it up. You could leave it the original color if you wanted to, but what I've been finding a lot with leaving just original like natural type colors is when it's up against something that's painted in an unnatural way, like even like you can have the best paint job, having a real bone beside a painted miniature sometimes kind of throws it off, or a painted ground and or your table, whatever happens to be. I find it throws it off. It looks a little out of place. So that's why, like, if I'm doing wood, I will use popsicle sticks for a lot of like wood planks and stuff, but I still paint them. Now I could just, put an Agrax Earthshade wash, let them soak, or soak them in tea or something like that just to discolor them a bit. But again, I find it takes away from the, I guess, immersion of the game. For me at least. So, if you guys just want to slap a piece of bone on some sand and decorate it, then awesome. That's great. But so that was kind of like a piece of terrain idea that I had stuck in my head, was making these bones work. Now, a lot of them are, again, I said brittle, so they are kind of flaking and breaking apart, which could be cool for some destroyed bone. Like, you're not going to have a perfect femur or a perfect pelvis or anything like that if you're thinking like Warzone or, just the extinction of an animal or a dead animal. Time is going to wear that bone down, and it's going to probably put holes and breaks in it. So with my back piece bone, or whatever it's called, of the turkey, with it being brittle and breaking a little bit, it actually adds to the effect. It adds like kind of a weathering effect, and an aging effect, which is really cool. But anyways, that's kind of all that I've been having bouncing around in my head. This is probably going to be a very short Talk Tuesday, as there hasn't been too much. I've been moving stuff around, so wargaming really hasn't been on my brain. But I'm just let you guys know about what I plan on with the channel in the next little bit. Is I will be bringing in some X-Wing battle reports. I had some Scum. I ordered some Empire TIE fighters and TIE interceptors and stuff like that. So those have come in, and I've been playing a couple games, just trying to get the rules down and make sure I know what I'm doing. But I've also got some more Empire stuff coming in. So as I feel more comfortable playing with TIE fighters than I did with the Scum, with the Y-Wing and the Headhunters. I gotta play a little bit more with them, but I've always loved TIE fighters, so I want to get those in. So as soon as that stuff comes in, I'm going to get a couple more games under my belt, and then I'll start doing some battle reports. As far as the Death Watch campaign goes, still trying to Frankenstein up some models for one of the groups, for one of the squads there. So as soon as I can get that done, then I'll let you guys know about filming it. Now, again, we have created the characters. I've got a couple missions ready to go. And in the meantime, while all that's happening, I have started, it's very minimal, but I have started working on making my own Zone Mortalis type of board. So right now I just have the pieces cut in 1x1 squares. So that's going to take a while, as you know, with making a scratch build Zone Mortalis, you got to kind of think of how the pieces are going to go together and how you're going to make it so that you can configure them in different ways, which takes a little bit. But other than that, not much else is new. Shifting loyalties for Malifaux players. Let me know if you guys want to see that. I had stated that we were going to start doing it, but I'm not 100% sure, just because with my wife's schedule, it's me, my wife, and one of my other friends that plays Malifaux. So with her schedule, it's kind of hard to be getting Malifaux games in. And I'm sure you guys don't want to see, like my other friend plays Goblins or Gremlins, whatever I can't remember what they're called. So I'm sure you don't want to see Gremlins versus Guild all the time type ideas. So let me know if you guys really, really want to see shifting loyalties. And then I'll work around my wife's schedule and try and get some of that started. But Death Watch is definitely going to happen because I have three other players and I'll be running it. So that will definitely be happening. Other than that, guys, I think that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about. Yeah, it was just showing you guys how to and letting you guys know how I prepped the real bone, and then I'll show you how I plan on using it in probably in video. It's probably gonna be a couple weeks before that terrain video comes out. So stay tuned for that if you want to see how I'm going to go about using them. If I decide to use them, there is a chance I will not use them, as they may be too brittle. So if I start gluing them down, painting, and they start breaking, falling apart, then I probably won't do the tutorial. And I'll probably just use like the thicker, heavier pieces. I'll probably paint them up just with some spray paint, and then just slap them on the board as scatter terrain than anything else really. Is brittle. Sorry. But as far as what's on my painting desk, I'm taking a little bit of a break from painting the Death Watch Marines from the Overkill box. I'm still working on the Gene Stealers because I need them for our campaign. But got an Otark in, the new, well, not new, but the newest, the plastic sculpt for the Autark or Otark or whatever, however you pronounce it. So I'm going to be building this guy up and painting him. If you want to see a painting video on him, on how I do my Eldar colors, let me know, and I'll do a video of painting this guy up. As well, on my desk, I've got a little tub here of more Eldar. Just some Guardians that I bought off eBay. And back to the video of, what was it, parenting and wargaming with eBay. I got 20 Guardians. I bought them from a company, from a store in the UK. I think for 20 Guardians, I paid, with shipping, about $30 Canadian. So I saved $20. I believe. I'm not 100% sure on the price of Guardians now. But, I got not 20. I got 10 Guardians. So I got a box of Guardians with the heavy weapons platform for fairly cheap. So if you're wondering which company I bought that up, I think if you search eBay, I believe it's AA hyphen War Games. I'm not 100% sure. What I'll do is I'll leave a link to their store in the description below, because they have some good eBay auction bids and stuff like that. Some of the models tend to be a little worse for wear, but you know, if you're looking to get into the hobby or add for cheap, then yeah, eBay is the best way to go. Just wanted to give you guys an update. I know the white painting video is already out, so and I showed you the white scar, but I didn't show you what I did to the Raven Guard. Oh, sorry, I bumped the mic. So I'm not sure if you guys can see. Anyways, try and block my ugly face out of that. So anyways, so I did the wings on the top, his icon, and the wings on the front. Sorry I couldn't get in closer. But what I'll probably do is once he's fully done, I'll put him up on some pictures of him up on Facebook, so you can see the detail in the white, and how I did it for small things like his icon and stuff. But other than that, guys, that's all that's on my painting desk right now. And that's all that I have jumbling up in my head right now as well. So I want to thank you guys for watching the video. Leave a comment. Let me know if you have any ideas for discussions, or you have any questions, things like that of what you want. And just let me know what you'd like to see on the channel as well. If you like something, let me know. Hey, continue doing such and such. And if you think that, you know, I should drop something, if I'm trying, whatever. If you have any suggestions for me, leave them in the comment section below. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and the like button. Let me know that you like these types of videos, you know, weekly updates and things like that. There will be a link to the Facebook page in the video description below, as always, and my Patreon account if you guys want to show some support through Patreon. That would be awesome. It'll help me kind of expand what I can cover and what I can do, such as if you want to see more Malifaux, you know, I need to get more models type idea. And so but it's completely up to you guys if you want to go through Patreon and support that way. Other than that, guys, thanks for supporting me by watching my videos, and I want to wish you all a great day.